Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. If you were here watching this, this is the last session of the last day of the open house free week. And I'm going to make this webinar extremely special. And here's why. So my son is just starting to develop like an awareness, a good awareness of who everyone is. And he's getting like that attachment. So he's upstairs, like bawling his head off because I had to leave him in our playtime to come do this webinar. And this is the first time for me that I had to do that, because normally up until, I guess, really today, he didn't really know. I was like, oh, dad has to leave. So he wouldn't like flip out, but so I got to make this one special. Type in a 2 if you want some specialness. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a journey of what I think is a very realistic path for every single person here for your trading. And as I mentioned yesterday, you have to walk down a path of financial freedom with a lot of focus and determination. It does not matter what the path is: real estate, business, marketing, sales, stocks, or working at your company. It doesn't matter. By working at your company, meaning like saving, budgeting, pinching every last penny, and putting all of your money into an index fund and waiting for 25 years. It does not matter what you do. You have to do it. You have to do it with discipline and consistency. If you are a professional tennis player, chef, pastry maker, make the best cannolis in town, you own an auto body shop, you are a sommelier at a restaurant, whatever you're doing in your life, do it a little bit better, make more money with it, and use it to go down a path of financial freedom. The path that you're watching this video, this webinar, this company, Real Life Trading, this is a path. We have helped hundreds of people, hundreds. That can reach into my phone and text right now. Hundreds of people become entirely 100% financially independent and totally financially free. So I know it is possible. It's extremely possible for you. But is it going to be the path for you? Is trading the thing for you? I don't know, but you have to walk down to find out. You got to. So here's my thoughts. And again, I don't know everyone's position in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some averages. Go through some averages. So the average income of most on this webinar is probably about $48,000. The average age is, so that you know, is probably closer to 52-ish. Okay, give or take. So that's the average age, and that's the average income on this webinar. Average age 52, average age about 48,000. And again, on average, without including an IRA or 401k or any kind of savings account, most of you on average have about $30,000 of savings laying around somewhere. And you're like, all right, with this amount of money and your IRA, I want to become financially free and independent. Is it possible? And the answer is, of course, absolutely. Let me give you the path. Let me give you the direction to walk down. Now, I'm not going to talk about the IRA or the 401k, anything like that right now, but there are certainly ways to go about that. And you know what? I could go on easily for a strong hour on how to make more money. But I'm not going to go do that really. I'm going to do that a little bit. But what I'm going to do is talk about this number right here. In fact, type in a 3 if I'm getting close to your situation. I don't have to be like the exact spot on, but type in a 3 if I'm getting close. Okay, so we got some 3s coming in. So I'm getting, I'm feeling out the webinar. I'm not super, super far off. Here's what I would do if I was in that exact position right now. Thinking through this, I would take 10,000 and go, this is my education. This is the money I'm going to spend towards education. I'm going to spend $10,000. And then this is the time, 1 to 2 years. And I'm going to devote, because, if you're over here, your average income is $48,000. You're working about max 50 hours a week. If you're making $48,000. So you're working 50 hours a week max. You're not working more than that. If you are, you're getting hosed. You're getting the wrong end of that deal. Okay, so max, you're working 50 hours, which means you have insane amounts of time to study. Ridiculous amounts. Way too much. Okay? The reason I'm saying that, because if you sleep 8 hours a night, 8 hours a night times 7 days, that's 56. Okay? So if you're working 50, you've got easily 20 hours in here a week to do some stuff with. Easily. This is if you're sleeping 8 hours a night and you're working 50 hours a week. You got a solid layup of 20 hours that you could just, study your face off. That's 2 hours a day for 7 days a week. And you still got 6 hours left to hang out with your family every second. That's so much time. All right. So without digressing too hard, $10,000, 1 to 2 years. This is like, all right, I'm going to walk down this path. Let's find out if this is the path. So this $10,000, where does it come from? From here. So just in your mind, boop, just imagine that now your savings is at 20. And over the next 1 to 2 years, it's not like you don't know how to save money or you don't know how to, again, increase, make some additional cash flow or whatever. So you're still going to be funneling your savings through your job. It's not going to just disappear. But you take this $10,000 and what you're going to be doing is you're going to think about 5, let's call it bullets, 5 bullets or 5 attempts at the $200,000 funded trading account opportunity. All right. 5 attempts at a $200,000 funded account. Now, everyone here, realistically, 99.9% of you can afford $275 a month extra. It's really nothing. I know that because I was paying that at the age of 19. And when you're earning your lowest amount of money, everyone here can afford $275 a month for 1 to 2 years. So again, you're walking down this path. You're going to go, all right, I'm committed. You take, that's not upfront, although you can pay it upfront. You don't have to, but that's just $275 a month. You're using your income to pay for that. And you're saying, all right, I'm gonna give it 1 to 2 years. And you take your $10,000 and you don't necessarily have to pull it out. It can stay in your account, but in your mind, you're setting up what the future success looks like, because this is how winning is created. You create a plan and you walk down that plan. You walk it out. So you have 5 attempts at $200,000, $200,000 trading account. Now, $200,000, what's 1% of $200,000 bucks? 1% of $200,000 is $2,000. Exactly. So the first attempt, well, that's gone. Obviously, you're going to blow out the first one, and the second one's gone too, and the third one's gone. Right. So you suck it up for 3 solid attempts. You got 2 left. But again, now you're 9 months in, and you finally figured out that the key to winning in the market is just sticking to a plan and not deviating from it. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. Some swing trades and some day trades. But you finally figure out, oh, okay, wait a minute, I get it. And you get funded. You get funded, and your trading risk, not even $2,000, right? You do it a little bit on the slower side. You start a little bit smaller, is $800. And you don't absolutely knock it out the park. You don't crush it, but you make 4 Rs a month at $800 risk unit. And you get 75% of that, right? You get to keep that take home pay as a 1099 payment. So 4 Rs times 800 is how much? That's $3,200. I don't have my calculator on me right now, but what's 75% of 3,200? 27, 26, give or take. So let's say $2,600. I know I have a lot of numbers on the screen right now. $2,400. Okay. So $2,400. Let me just keep writing this. $2,400. This is how I draw out my plans of life. Okay. So now 4 hours a month with an $800 risk unit. After you're getting the 25% taken out, you're making this take home pays at $1099, $2,400 extra a month. You see where I'm going? Do that for 3 or 4 months and you'll fully fund this 10K back. So that goes directly into here and starts beefing that up. And then you're starting to pay down debt and you're starting to chip away at whatever else exists in your life that you don't really need. Maybe you need to, upgrade your bathroom or put new flooring in or whatever the case is. And you just slowly start building that wealth because now your debt starts to decrease and all of your extra earned income goes to one thing, your investments, your assets. Because let's imagine at year two, 2 years from now, you have no debt. Now, a lot of you actually are in this position. Most of you do have no debt or very, very little debt. But let's just say 2 years from now, you have no debt. And you're making your salary. And you're making your about $30,000-ish a year trading with only an $800 risk unit, only making 4 hours a month. But what if something dramatic happens? What if you become one of the people that really stick the landing on this and you start trading with a $1,500 account, $1,500 risk unit, and you're still making 4 hours a month? Well, now the game is changing dramatically. Now, right, you're making $6,000 and 75% of that is 5,000. 4,500. Okay. Cameron says 4,500. So now you're making $4,500 a month, which is your job salary. So now you have no debt. All of your money for your job is going to whatever. And then this is just going right into some asset. That asset can be houses, rental properties, books, art, crypto, stocks, businesses, online businesses. Would you guys believe that you can buy businesses for that amount of money? Easy. But these are all assets that you can start to create. And now that's 2 years in. So then let's just amplify that by 2 years. Nothing changes, still just doing 4 hours a month with a $1,500 risk unit, and all of this is happening. And then you go 2 years. 4 years in, you've been buying $48,000 worth of assets a year. You now have $100,000 of assets. You have $50,000 in savings, most likely, because again, you have no debt. So you've been able to pour into it. And you still got your IRA and your 401k and all the money over there. And maybe you have some rental income, or maybe you got some other, assets that have been built up over time. But this is a 4-year plan, no debt, $100,000 in assets, $50,000 liquid, and you still have that $200,000 trading account. After 4 years, you've gotten, again, the hang of it. Now you're able to trade with a $2,000 risk unit and make about 4 to 5 hours a month trading 4 years from now. And after 4 years, me and you have a coaching session. So some of this money, boop, it's gone. Cool. Jeremy's expensive, but it can be anyone on the team. Yates, Steven, Johnny, Dan Jansen. It doesn't matter who you work with. Thomas, they're all phenomenal. They're all amazing. Tracy, Jason, Arabia, they're all terrific. Type in a 1 if you know that there's a $500,000 account opportunity out there. So now you're trading with a $5,000 risk unit because, hey, let's face it, you've been consistently profitable. You've been doing your thing for 4 years, and you make 5 hours a month at $5,000. What do you guys think? Now the game changes. Now the game changes. How much is that? Now you're bringing in $20,000 a month. You following me? All of this happens with better questions and discipline and consistency. This is essentially more or less exactly what I did. And the assets that I focus on books, like meaning not like rare books, like I bought books and read them. I bought 1 or 2 rental properties, and then all of my money went into stocks and crypto. And crypto, obviously, I got lucky with crypto. But I've been doing this exact plan since 2012. And so, 2014, 2015, 2016, I'm buying crypto, buying Ethereum. It's low. It's cheap. I'm buying Apple, Shopify, Square, Tesla. It's cheap. I had a business. So that's just doing its thing, right? So that's that $48,000 you guys were talking about that year, right? That's your salary. You guys seeing this picture? 4 years from now, going down a path, your trajectory is entirely different. Because making $20,000 a month puts you in a level that's, you start to not even know people. All of your friends change. You move to a different state or a different country. Your whole world is different at that stage when you're making $20,000 a month. Just trading, because you still have your job potentially. What do you guys think about this? Is this crazy or is this crazy? I'm gonna pause here for a second because I feel like that this is revolutionary info for most of you. Jose says, yes, this is definitely a recording. Oh, is it recording? Yes, it is recording. Jose has a mind-blowing emoji. I love it. My friends, does everything take time? Yes. Does everything take money? Yes. But the people who become really, really good at anything do so through consistency. I can show you the exact same plan to become financially free using Twitter. I can show you the exact same plan to become financially free using email marketing. I can show you the exact same plan to become financially free with sales. And all because over the last 12 years, I studied harder than most people do anything. I read the books, I listened to the podcast, and I spent the money to be in the rooms with people way smarter than I am. Tanner says, even if you don't have the initial 10,000, you could also start with $50,000 funded account. And once you're profitable, put it into the $200,000 funded account. Absolutely. 100%, man. I mean, most people have 10 grands, but I agree with what you're saying. Because even if you don't, like, you take a little bit of a slower process, but instead of the $200,000 account, you do a $50,000 funded account. Because the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't make money with the funded account, you're not going to make money trading. Now, I say trading, that doesn't mean assets. You can buy assets. You can buy stocks like the Qs. You can buy Apple. You can buy Google. You can hold those long term and they will appreciate over time. But that's not trading. That's investing. It's two different things. Brian says, what books do you recommend to start with? You Are a Badass at Making Money. I'm sure you've all read Money Grows on Trees. Another great one. They even spelled trees right. Good job, Newsom. Almost got it. Almost nailed the landing. Let's try that again. Money Grows on Trees. And then Money Master the Game. Long story short, anything with money, rich, wealth in the title. anything. My dad told me to study money when I was 12 years old. I didn't know what that meant. So I just started reading books with the word money in the title. Richest Man in Babylon. Think and Grow Rich. Money and the Meaning of Life by Jacob Needleman. Sell or Be Sold. That came way down the line with Grant Cardone, but I figured that was some type of sale, money book. Trading in the Zone. Good book. But it all comes down to money. Thomas, I'm working my way through that one too. The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, about Solomon and his principles that he lived by and what he did. The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. So if it has money, rich, wealth in the title, it's going to be hard to go wrong. Because, my dear friends, I want all of you to play this amazing game of life at a different level than you're playing it now. That's what I want. Because for me, it boils down to everything you want is on the other side of fear. Let's pretend that this was not a stock webinar. Let's pretend that I didn't make a few $1 million in stocks. Let's pretend that I'm just here as a person who has money in my bank account. What I would tell anyone is pick something and become pretty proficient at it and master those small, tiny, nuanced skills. You have two Uber drivers. Everything is identical, except Uber driver over here, this Uber driver, okay, my little, this Uber driver puts mints, cell phone chargers, and water in his car. Everything else is the exact same. Which Uber driver gets paid more? That's not even a question. This one over here, the one that puts mints, phone chargers, and waters in the car, it's a value add. They're going to get more tips. The wiggling one, yes, the wiggling Uber driver is going to get paid more because they're asking themselves, how can I have a small, tiny adjustment in this game to be a little bit more profitable? John says, if you're currently working, think about subscribing to trade journals. What's new in your field? What's on the horizon? Absolutely. Learn all about new products, new insurance products, new ways of selling, new ways of adapting. I mean, just learn more about your skill, your product, learn everything you can about it. When I was at Nationwide and I was doing commercial policies, team, I was slanging and banging commercial policies, business owner policies. They're called BOP policies, business owner policies, BOPs. I studied those things like crazy. I would sell earthquake insurance. I would sell, I mean, if the person was near fault line, I'd already looked it up. I knew exactly what that person would need, and I would explain it to them, and I would teach it to them. I would teach them what comprehensive and collision insurance was and what the difference is. I would teach them how to get their payments as low as possible and have the most upside they can. It's not hard, team. And then if you can increase your income to 100,000 or more a year, which everyone in this room can do easily. Just look around you. Look how many houses are next to where you live. Look how many doors you could knock on. Easily make $100,000 a year. You're just not trying. It's simple. $100,000 a year is easy. You live in America. Go to the richest neighborhood that you possibly can and ask them what you can do for them. If you live in Canada, it's easy. You are in an amazing country. Just go to the richest neighborhood possible and ask them what you can do for them. They'll pay you. You make $2,000 every 2 days, $1,000 every 2 or 3 days. What are you doing? You'd be cleaning out their garage. You could be mowing their lawn. You could be helping them install a theater in their house. You could be helping them with lighting. I don't know. Read books to them. It's easy. You tell yourself it's easy and you sit down and you do the math, do the second grade math and figure out how simple it is. I'll give you one last example and we're going to get into stocks. Okay. I sat down and did this math very, very early on in my life. I said $100,000 a year. This is what I need to make. There's no question. This is a must. And at the time when I was asking this question, I worked in insurance and that was $10,000 a month, approximately, give or take. And so I sat down and go, how many policies do I need to sell for $10,000 a week? There's 4 weeks in a year, in a month, 4 weeks in a month, $10,000 a month, $2,500 a week. How many policies do I need to sell? $2,500 to get $2,500 in a week. And the answer was 4. I had to sell 4 things to get $2,500 a week. That means that I need to talk to about 50-ish people a week. You guys want to know the hilarious thing? 50 a week? 50 a week. I did 50 a day. 50 a week? What are you doing? Are you sleeping on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays? I would call 50 people by 4 p.m. Monday night. 50 a week. Give me a break. That's easy. That's phone calls. You dial the number. It's 10 digits with your finger. And I would just talk to them. Hey, what insurance policy do you have right now? Do you like it? What parts do you not like about it? What do you wish you knew more about your insurance? Do you like your premium? Do you feel like they would protect you if something actually happened to your home or business? Tell me about a time that your insurance did not cover you and what was the part that you needed them to cover you the most on? Do you have rental insurance? You know how rental insurance works? I just asked questions. I wasn't calling to sell them. I was calling to get information on how I can make their life better. And most of the people had better insurance than I could provide them for a better price because they've been around for a long time. I said, hey, man, bro, keep your insurance. Your insurance premium is incredible. Keep it. Call your agent, send them a fruit basket for Christmas because you've nailed it. I love you. I'll never call you again. Bye. I did that 46 times a day. Whatever industry that you're in, you can do this. Let's say you're salary capped and there's no way, it's impossible. You work for the government. You can't make more than $48,000 a year. Got it. So what do you now need to do? Well, you need to only make $52,000. That's $1,000 a week. That is $200 a day. That is 10 books at $20 a book per day. 10 books at $20 a book per day. Meaning you can buy books off of Amazon in bulk, books that are amazing, books that help people think and grow rich. Money grows on trees, money masters the game. Buy it and sell it for 20 and you can make $200 a day. Team, I sold blackberries at the age of 6. There's a million things that you can sell. Daryl says, know your outcome and take action. Stop thinking, stop wondering, just take the action and adjust as you go. You got to make that step. Daryl's absolutely right. It's not hard. And if you do say, oh, I'm salary capped, I can't make more, then get a better job. Why work for a place that's limiting you? Because they pay good health insurance. Health insurance is what's holding you back. Just go buy health insurance, like $600, $700 a month for a whole family. Just go get some of that. You're fine. It's easy, squadron. Tell yourself it's easy. If you believe it's easy, it is easy. It's very simple. Take the action. Type in a 9 if that was remotely helpful, and I promise I will get into stocks right now. I hope you all take the appropriate action today. This is our last time together, and I hope many of you continue to join me. My boy John says, average people are more afraid of change than they are afraid of discomfort. Be uncomfortable and make a change. So true. All right, let's go look at the broader market, SPY. So today was a very fun day, a lot of momentum. If you were a day trader, you loved it because we gapped down. Now, this hasn't happened before recently where we opened at the 100 simple moving average. I know that that hasn't occurred in a very, very long time that we, opened right around the 100 simple moving average. It's been 48 hours since that's happened. So it would have been really, really difficult to know like how to trade this, but it gapped down, which means that there's momentum. We opened below the previous low of the day, opened at the 100 simple moving average on the daily chart. Here's the 3-minute time frame. And you had a bear candle closing above the 10 EMA right here. You're going long here, stop loss there, target there, you're done for the day. Boom. Now here's the coolest part. Do you know how much money was on just this random, slightly insignificant candle right here? You're talking about how large the market is. That's 475,000 shares at $412 a share. I don't even know that. I don't even know how to type in that number. It's so big. 600 million on that one candle. And then what happens? And then you got some bull candles closing below the 10 EMA over here. So you're shorting somewhere over here, stop loss somewhere over here. Boom, you hit your 1.2 Rs again. What? This is easy. You could have traded just today on the SPY, 2 trades, and make more money than you make in a week. It's a great trade. Good job on the SPY. Everyone who played it, well done. Here's the Qs. Same thing. We gapped down, opened below the low of yesterday. Tons of momentum today. A lot of momentum on the Qs. Dow Jones, same thing. And then, of course, the IWM, which is the Russell 2000. Russell 2000, again, also opened below the low of the day, which just means that momentum is there. And it just slowly started peeling higher for the day. Ended up nice and strong on a weekly chart. Candles look pretty good. Super, super excited to see what happens tomorrow. We have a nice list of stocks to get through. Won't take that long. Let's go and crush it. Datadog, ticker symbol DDOG. I don't have any position in Datadog, but it's at the top of a channel. It's at the top of a resistance. You got the 100 simple on a weekly chart. You can see that we've sold off here before on a weekly time frame. You've had a bunch of bull candles in a row, and you're at the 100 on the daily. So you're at the 100 on the daily and the 100 simple on a weekly. This is a good spot to A, get into a covered call. B, get into a bear call spread if you know about options. C, look to short for a quick swing trade or a day trade. Or D, don't do anything. Those are your choices for Datadog. Shopify, SHOP, still keeping a very close eye on Shopify, but I feel like we nailed it when we talked about, how many people were buying Shopify on Wednesday? Everyone's like, Shopify is breaking out to the moon. I'm like, just give it a day or two because it's at resistance right now. So if you bought it today, you've been able to buy it less than everyone else bought it on Friday. Sorry, not Friday, Wednesday. Everyone else wanted to buy it on Wednesday when it was breaking out of that resistance, and you would have just known to wait because it was out of resistance. Why buy things high? I'm not saying Shopify can't go higher. I think it is. I think it will. This is just a really, really beautiful accumulation pattern. And I love, love, love this weekly candle. That is a very, very nice hammer. Beautiful hammer, in fact. And if Shopify pulls back down to that hammer, you could certainly buy it on a longer term scale. And you could put a trigger for protective puts at the low of $29 or not. And you can just kind of sit there and wait and just see what it does. But in general, Shopify looks good. PayPal slowly pulled back again today. Very nice little cute candle on PayPal. And I feel good enough on this one to say, if PayPal just starts storming the castles of profit, we can set that up as a bullish swing trade right there. 98.77 by 94.22. I'll put on the list for Monday. I know most of you will be here on Monday. I will re-look at PayPal at that time, but I'll be setting that up as an official swing trade. So if you want to get into that, looks good to me presently. Lucid Motors. Keeping a close eye on this guy. It did have a little bit of a bear candle today. I'm still going to wait for it to break down like this, and then I'm going to short a retest. Why am I waiting for that? Because we are at a support and Lucid is down a lot. So this is the support level that we're at. It's a strong one. And we've been down here before and we've bounced before. So I just want a good, nice move below it. And then we can kind of short or retest at that level. There's no reason to get extremely, extremely aggressive on Lucid because, yes, it looks like an absolute death fire. But we are at support. So I'm just going to keep giving a little bit of time, but I will certainly put on the list for Monday, and I'll put on the list for Thursday of next week as well. Transportation Thursday. We'll continue to just keep an eye on it. Beautiful. And by the way, team, there's a lot of you here right now. If you do have any question about life, anything that you want about money, anything that you've been wondering about or pondering about that you think I might be able to have an answer to, start typing into the chat pane now. This is a great time. I'm here for you. Remember, I want to make this a good one because I can still hear little man crying his face off like someone is sawing off each individual toe. You can't hear because of my microphone, but this dude is going at it. All right. So we looked at CROX yesterday and we mentioned all that bear volume. We broke above that bear volume. We closed above it today. And so all I'm going to do now is pop into an hourly chart and just set up a limit buy on CROX. So I'm going to put the limit buy, the high of this candle here, limit buy there, and I'm going to place my stop loss here and just essentially buy a pullback of the candle that came in today. 70.74 by 64.66 on CROX. All right, swing trades. New personal swing trade on CROX. Oh, you know what? I think this is a good one to make a bet on. Full swing trade. If I lose on this trade, I will buy CROX and only wear CROX for a whole week, no matter what, except for my Ironman week. You guys can pick the week. It's going to be fun. Except for Ironman week. All right. Jose says, man, you're going to make the CROX look sexy. Thanks, dog. Appreciate you. All right. Trying again. All right. There we go. CROX. Pop that in there. I'll make that update. Pink ones. Absolutely, Ray. In fact, if I lose on this trade, you might see me in pink CROX at the Nashville retreat. So let's make sure I win, okay? All right, next on the list is CSX. The choo-choo train just slowly grinding higher. It did gap down, but it opened right at the 100 and just kind of kept chugging along. So no real massive fear or anything strange occurring on CSX. I don't see any specific evidence of like, oh, I need to get in right now. But if you have shares, stay in them. Looks good. And I think it could just slowly keep grinding higher. And of course, if the whole market rolls over, CSX will probably roll over too, but I don't have any other swing trade on it right now. It just looks like it can keep going up some. Avis, I just have a hard time buying this. I do. Thomas, do you have a hard time buying this? $185 a share? Or you like, doesn't matter? I mean, do you care? It just feels like doing something wrong. Feels like I'm buying GameStop at $300 a share, AMC at 50 or something. Wow, what a support level this thing hit. Steven says, it's no hurts. Pretty looking chart. Okay. What I will do is I'm gonna watch this one pretty closely on Monday. This will be the trade setup on it though. But I'm thinking it could probably pop and then we buy a little bit of a pullback too. Maybe I'll add an additional risk unit if that happens. But target will be right about there. And there we go. Tanner says the PE is only 4. And then Thomas says, I'm seeing a 5.7 PE. So we have two people both saying a little bit of a different number, but the answer is it is a low number. Crazy town. Swing trade on car. Pretty wild, team. Pretty wild. Okay, 8/5/2022. 185.36. Looking for it to break out and kind of run a little bit above the upper shadow. Stop loss 160.53. And I think it's a good trade. 10 EMA. Open triggered yet. Okay. Next on the list, YETI. So we did expect YETI to kind of do what it did today. Kind of nailed that one, right? And that's some analysis that's just, if I'm being honest, it's pretty next level. I don't know if anyone got a chance to play what I was describing on YETI or not yesterday. You certainly could have. You could have done one of two things. You could have bought this 10 EMA play here, entering there, stop loss there, and you would have crushed that trade. You could have played that little flag pattern breakout for a quick little R, or you could have played the opening 3-minute hammer and just got in above there, and stop loss right there, from the analysis of yesterday in the afternoon room to not short YETI, but look for a quick little gap and trap, which is what happened. Who knew? All right. I do think we can short this thing though. Give it another day or two. Keeping an eye on it. Keeping an eye. Got on the list for Monday. Okay. Continuing with our trend of greatness. Kimberly Clark. KMB. I'm doing much on Kimberly Clark. I don't have any position on this one, but if I wanted to, I'd probably get into a bull put spread down here for September. And that's it. If I had some shares, I'd hold them. I mean, nothing wrong with holding shares of Kimberly Clark. Just kind of letting it ride up and just slowly grind higher. ADT, we got you protected. Nice little breakout. Really good coiling compression right here. You guys can probably see that nice little, just good compression. Gapped up on earnings yesterday and kind of continued a little bit today. This is one that we could probably watch. I like the interaction with the 200 simple on the weekly and daily. The 100 simple on the weekly. Nah. I'll put it on the list for Wednesday of next week, but I don't know if I'll actually trade it. Probably not. Don't see anything that just jumps out at me. Good thing there's other stocks out there, like RIOT, RIOT, RIOT blockchain. Are some of the cryptos starting to come back? Well, some of them are. And so is RIOT, or at least it's trying to. Daily chart had a little bit of a double bottom thing. And yeah. I mean, essentially, if you're playing it, you're buying and praying is what you're doing on RIOT. Right? I mean, I don't think I think that's it. Yeah, you're buying and praying. 100 SMA on the monthly is at 9. So there'll be some resistance there. Anticipate that. And if we break through 9, it could run a little bit, but you got the 100 simple on the daily and the monthly right there. Coin had a really, really cool gap up yesterday. Very obvious fade. And there were a few traders who played that as a fade yesterday in the day trading room. I pop in here to a 3-minute chart in super, super obvious fade. Had a nice spike pre-market. You can kind of see it kind of ran up. And look at this 3-minute chart. Again, I'm not saying that you had to do this trade, but type in a 9 if you can really, really clearly see bull candles closing below the 10. So here's one. Here's one. You could have played both of those. You wouldn't have gotten stopped out, but you would have had a, entry somewhere right around there. Stop loss would have been hopefully somewhere over here. But you wouldn't have gotten stopped out. It gotten close. And then notice these bad boys. So you see the purple line? Remember, that's the 100 simple on the daily. Look at that shooting star interaction with the 10 EMA. Type in a 99. Give me a Wayne Gretzky. If shorting there, stop loss up here would have been the easiest trade of all time. There we go. All it is just drawing lines on your chart and coming up with a strategy and following that strategy. That is it. Really, really good gap. Super intriguing to see that play out. And earnings is right around the corner on Coinbase. It'll be super fun to see what that does. But again, this one is starting to bottom out of here, and it should. It's supposed to. I don't think it's going to go to zero. A lot of people were afraid of bankruptcy, and I was like, they got too many. They got too much assets. It's always possible, but they had a lot of actual holdings. Elf Beauty. This is Will Ferrell's company. And there's a big, big resistance here at 32.38. You can see that resistance there, resistance there. Really interesting candle pattern rotation interaction here with the 100 simple on the weekly chart. This is one of those times where when you see what happens, you want to zoom in and just kind of analyze what those candles looked like. You can kind of see that here's what those candles looked like. A really good compression. And these two candles, look at that. That's a really nice breakout, retest, bear candles closing above the 10. Boom, boom, boom. Nice little run up there. So it does. This one looks pretty. If I owned Elf Beauty or if I used it for my makeup, which I obviously do, I would just buy a pullback at 32.38 and ride the bullish train. But this one is making higher highs all time. That's showing strength. Elf. Looking pretty good. Another stock that just does not care what you think about the market being potentially bearish. AutoZone. 2 bear candles back to back, both little hammer candles. We close above those today. If you're getting in this one, you're probably getting in on a pullback, limit buy here, stop loss here. Just keep in mind that it's a little on the high side. We are at a resistance, aka the previous all-time high. And it is absolutely just slowly pittering and puttering higher. But trend is bullish, and I wouldn't try to short it aggressively. But that's really all I got on AutoZone. JP Morgan's a no-brainer buy down here. If you want something long-term. Even from a swing trade perspective, it's not bad. You can almost just know that it's about to go higher. Really. I mean, the whole market is kind of ripping. And JP Morgan, one of the bigger, top 30 companies in the world, as far as size goes, is not ripping. So there's some room for this one to go. And I would absolutely keep it on my list. Maybe buy some, buy a little bit of a pullback, sprinkle some salt and pepper on this one, sell some puts, bull put spread, buy some shares, get into some calls. Looks pretty okay. And again, that could be a short-term or a longer-term play, but long-term, it's almost too easy, I think, down there. Amazon, we will get to see. It had its bounce. It has a nice gap. I do think this gap fills. And Monday is going to be very fun to watch Amazon, see if we open here. We open there on Monday. It'll be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of momentum, and I will watch very closely for some 3-minute candles because today is an inside candle. If we gap up to here on Monday, it'll also be fun because you'll be at the 200 simple and you'll be gapping above the high of 2 days, and you'll have an inside candle. So there'll be a lot of momentum on Amazon. But I didn't day trade Amazon today because it didn't open high or low and do anything overly special. Starbucks. Again, long term, it's kind of a no-brainer. That's I was mentioning that back here, like 72-ish. It's Starbucks. I mean, you're not at COVID lows, but you're also not extremely far away from them. I mean, I guess kind of maybe right now you are, but you're at the relatively the same price that it was in June of 2020, give or take. So this would be a long-term play. I don't see anything I love short-term, like a quick cash flow, boom, boom, bang, bang, in and out, snapping necks and cash and checks type of setup. I mean, today's a kind of a cute little gap down doji nothing candle. Little nothing right there. So if it breaks down, I think it can go lower. And if it broke up, it could go a little bit higher. But long term, I mean, Starbucks is a good buy if you drink Starbucks. Otherwise, I just kind of let it do its thing. DraftKings gapped up on earnings. Good gap today. So there's a term called dash for trash. I think that that's happening right now. There's just so many growth stocks that, you know, were crushing it and then are just down so low that they're getting some short squeezes and they're getting some people buying the breakouts. And I mean, it looks pretty cool. Today was a very interesting gap on DraftKings. And I would not have been able to play it bullish using my strategy that I'm focusing on right now. But type in F4 if you can see how I would have played it bearish. It's a very easy one to commentate on. But there's no real bullish trade, and there's only 2 people typing in 4s. Okay, so I'll explain it. Here's the pre-market resistance here. So I didn't get a chance to make money on the upside because there was no bear candle closing above the 10 until, you know, up here, and that was just too high. It was right at pre-market resistance. So when we close below this hammer and this hammer, you get a bull candle there, closes below the 10. And you get a bull candle that closes below the 10 right there, that tiny candle. I would have shorted below that and I would have put my stop there and I would have gotten triggered into that trade. And obviously it's a counter trend trade since it was a bullish gap and go. So I wouldn't have been expecting too much greatness. Entry there, stop there, and target 1.2 would not have hit. It would have triggered in bearish for sure. Once that pivot comes in, I would have lowered my stop loss to there, right above the high of that pivot. I would have walked away for probably an hour or so, and then would have gotten trailed out right here for about 0.7 hours. That's how I would have traded DraftKings today. Didn't take that trade, but that's how I would have done it. Pretty clean, actually. Pretty easy, I think. What now? Well, let it pull back a little bit. I think that it's going to rest for 2 or 3 days, and some short squeeze can definitely come in, and DraftKings can easily pop into 22. Easily. I'm going to keep it on Monday, and we'll just come back and see what it does. Mike says, looks like a short to me. Yeah, it certainly could, especially if it opens below the low of this or closes below here. I mean, nice shooting star candle could drop down into there and then bounce a little bit. But if you look at it on a weekly chart, it does look a little shortable because you're finally getting a pop into some averages. I'm just not going to short it too aggressively because DraftKings is essentially down 72%, not even from the highs, but just from this pivot. That's being nice to DraftKings. I'm being mean to DraftKings. It went down 86%. A lot. Mongo database just grinding higher, slowly churning and burning. Don't have any position into this one to my knowledge, but you are about to hit the 100 simple on a weekly chart. It's a great spot to sell, lock in some profits, redistribute, and wait for something later on Mongo database. Zim integrated shipping. We had a short swing trade over here. We exited for essentially nothing, no win, no real loss. And earnings is coming around the corner. On Zim integrated shipping, you got some higher lows and a relative high here. This is a nice triangle, and this makes for a pretty strangle. $40 September puts and $55 September calls for a strangle on ZIM. If you're wondering what a strangle is, I do teach it for free at reallifetrading.com. You can go there and click on the advanced class. But if you don't feel like you're advanced, or you don't feel like you want to be advanced right now, AKA, have you made money trading yet? If the answer is no, don't go to advanced. Or don't worry about it. You can go there and watch whatever you want, but just don't stress about it, because make money first, then complicate it. AMD, I mean, just scorching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bull candles in a row. That is more bullishness than any bearishness that AMD has had. AMD never had 5 bear weeks. Well, you had, I guess, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a tie. So 5 bear weeks here, 5 bull weeks here. When you had 5 bear weeks, you got some bulls. So maybe when you get 5 bull weeks, you're going to get some bears. Let's see. Pretty interesting gap today. I didn't focus on AMD today, though, at all, because it didn't open above the low or open above the high. There were plenty of stocks that did. So I didn't really focus on that one at all. PLBY. Now I got your attention. Now you're listening. You know what's cool? I actually did have a few individuals who are like, oh, we should buy some PLBY up here. And I said, I wouldn't. From a fundamental standpoint, they got some challenges. They got some problems that they're working through on many fronts. If you want to play it now, stop loss is 0, right? So it's an absolute 0 play. Take your risk, divide it by 671. Or buy some call options over earnings just in case it gaps up and squeezes out the shorts, because it has been just annihilated by short traders and sellers, and it hasn't gone up really at all. CCJ looks pretty kind of good, actually. Bear candles closing above the 10 here and here. You had one over here as well, but then earnings happened. Nice little retest gap on earnings. This was a retest gap. Weekly chart looks pretty cute. Long-term trend looks good there. Monthly chart also looks decent. All moving averages bullish on all time frames. Okay. CCJ. Getting in that pullback. Buying that dip. Let me get in on that dip. 25.21 by 23.63. Bang. New swing trade on CCJ. $25.21 with a stop loss at 23.63. All righty. Squadrini. 8/5/2022. Stupendous. Next on the list is Under Armour. Under Armour. I am quite surprised that Under Armour is still struggling so much. However, it is at the exact same price that it was during some COVID issues and some stuff before it. I think this is a good buy low, sell high location on Under Armour. Risk reward is good. You can buy protective puts or just cut your losses here. If you wear Under Armour, like Under Armour, or consider yourself to be an underground athlete that likes to wear super stretchy, tight apparel, buy low, sell high, and see if Under Armour can essentially pay you to work out and wear some workout clothes. It's a good level. Boeing, you got a pennant pattern brewing on Boeing. Meow, meow. So that can break out in either direction, up or down. I'd prefer it to break down and then purchase more Boeing, or purchase some Boeing off of the 200 simple on a monthly chart. Non-adjusted for dividends. 147.75. So that's what I would be more inclined to do, and probably what I would like to wait for. So you could sell some puts down there, or just wait for a dip, or watch it very closely on Monday and find out if Boeing will gap down and open below here and start shredding some of these buyers that bought on the last 2 or 3 days. And maybe you can catch a little bit of a day trade, because it does look slightly weaker if it starts to drop. Bank of America had a bullish pop today, some good compression, but it did pop out bullish today. So we'll see if that holds. 3x leverage ETN. Micro sectors. Okay. So if the market goes up, this goes up. And if it goes down, it really goes down. Got it. Well, I mean, looks okay. You're getting a little on the high side. This is essentially the exact same spot that it failed last time. And it is getting an evening star reversal today. So I would be, again, just a little patient, and I probably wouldn't be buying it here. Disney, evening star reversal on Disney, earnings around the corner. On a long enough time horizon, this one probably goes up, but it is quite surprising that it is all the way back down at COVID lows. I think that's a little bit surprising, but maybe it's, because of all the media changes they're deciding to make. I heard a rumor, and I have no idea if this is true, and I kind of hope it's not, because that's just silly. But they're trying to change the reference of a fairy godmother to a gender neutral being. I heard that and I was just like, Disney, come on, dude. Bro. Just stop. Like, what? Again, I don't know if that's true. Maybe that's just a stupid Twitter thing that I heard or read, but I'm just like, get out of here. Anyway, I don't know. If you buy it low enough, they'll probably be fine. I don't have any position in Disney personally, but this is a decent evening star reversal, and earnings are around the corner. Tim says fairy birthing person. Exactly. Yeah. Oh man, you guys are good. ENPH Energy, Donkey Kong strong stock right here. This thing gives zero cares with the, green energy movement, which I fully support as far as solar is concerned. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. Why would you not? ENPH just keeps kind of creeping higher. Beautiful gap on earnings. Buy the dip. Trend is bullish. It looks really nice. It's bullish on all time frames. So I'd probably buy it somewhere right around here on a little bit of a dip. Let's put that on the watch list for next week. I'm watching on a Wednesday, and we will see what it does. Just a few more, and then we're done. 2 more, actually. Spxl, which is the 3X bull. So again, this goes up very fast when the markets go up, and it goes down very fast when the markets go down. As you can see, it's been going down recently, and it's kind of bouncing off the 200 simple moving average, bouncing off some resistance. It's much higher than the COVID lows, which is good. And yeah, it can keep going up. I mean, it just depends on if the market's going to go up. It's kind of ironic to me that we're very close to the 100 simple. We've consolidated for a few days here, consolidated for a few days there as well. And we'll just kind of see what we do from here, if it gaps down or kind of rolls over. But I would like it. I would like some bearishness out there. Tesla today, again, team, just a personal opinion, was a very, very easy short. Very easy bear money to be made on Tesla today. If you did make money on Tesla, go back, trade it a few times, and just kind of practice, because you'll notice we opened below the low of yesterday. We opened below the 200 simple moving average, and we retest the 200 simple moving average as resistance. If you did not short off the 200 simple moving average, I don't know why. So you can see this green line. Now, granted, there was a lot of really nice 10 EMA plays in here as well, and in here as well. Very, very, very easy. Super, super simple. Right? A one-winged, one-eyed pigeon with a lactose intolerance could have made money on Tesla today shorting. But if you shorted at the 200 simple, again, this green line, aka the around pre-market low, you're shorting somewhere over here, and your stop is somewhere over here. You crushed it. That was my one and done. I figured short it at 910, stop at 920, wish for the best, and it worked out okay. So, actually still short at 200 shares of Tesla. And I think it's going to come down to this 100 simple moving average at some point, and this gap over here will also fill. So, yeah, it was a nice day. Nice day on Tesla. That's it. That's what I got. Team, we're finished. Any last minute questions? You all know how to sign up. You all know how to join. Anything that anyone needs from me. Otherwise, I'm going to go trying to calm down this little man who is obviously getting his limbs torn off his body. Obviously. Rock says Tesla 3-to-1 split. I need to go look at Elon's. I need to go listen to Elon's stockholder meeting yesterday. My buddy Chris Rimbolt was there. So I need to go listen to the whole thing and spend some time on that. Ray says, thank you. You're super welcome. Excited to see you in September. Someone's saying put STOR on there for Monday. I think I forgot to actually add one stock as well. That was Six Flags. Let me go look at that right now. Crystal says, I'll be back on Monday. Thank you so much, Crystal. I appreciate it. Petra says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anything for you, Petra. Anything at any time. Six Flags. I do like this triple bottom. I do like the close a lot. I'm a little worried about earnings, but I mean, it's a really nice move. Good triple bottom, really decent close. Definitely worth buying a pullback. And if you're going to hold over earnings, just get into a collar. So you could buy some shares here, buy a put, sell a covered call, and mitigate your risk pretty well. Because again, this is near or very close to COVID lows, and I think Six Flags could recover. I don't think they're going to have the same issues as Disney, but it looks okay. David says, I signed up for the all access pass. Beautiful, man. Welcome to the family. I appreciate it. Jack says, good to see you, Petra. Have a great one later, Gators. See you, Jack. Mr. Jack Smith going to be in Nashville hanging out with me as well in just a few weeks. Team, it has been an honor. It's been a privilege. It's been a pleasure. I hope you learned something this week. Hope you had some really insightful takeaways. Hope it was beneficial. Cameron says, first watched RLT about 5 years ago. Plan to connect at Yates and get the all access pass in September. All right, my man. Love it. Well, team, you make my heart happy. I appreciate you all being here. Get in, sign in, become part of this movement. Help us enrich lives all over the world. Help us circulate money, be abundant, be prosperous, and just be fantastic human beings. I love you all so much. Bye.